Hello again. Stop, look, and think. Please stop, look, and think. The stuff you're hearing on this internet, and I hate to, this anti Fauci stuff and all this other nonsense, when there's so much going on in this world, stop, look, and think. Think about what is happening in this government, in this society. Who do you trust? My gosh, it is getting bad. Worse. I don't know how much worse it can get, but it is getting worse. That list that Miss Green put out, at the top of the list, get Fauci. Come on, people. All this, riding into fear and fear, gut wrenching emotional stuff. I don't know how to get out of it except to think. I want you to think, to stop a minute and think about the consequences of what is going on. I had a little, statement, you know, how can truth worm its way out of a sea of lies? Sounds pretty good. How can truth worm its way out of a sea of lies? I don't know. Do you? Because it is up to you to distinguish what the truth is. But it's such an ordeal. My gosh. And please do not think that you have, as a person, and I can almost guarantee it, well, I can guarantee it, you as a person do not have a full understanding of all that is going on in this government, in behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, around the scenes. If you're not one of the main players, if you're not in there, and even then, I wonder, there's so many diverse characters. There's no standards anymore. You can't believe what anybody says. People's characters are shot. They talk about families, and then their families go to hell in a handbasket, and there's trouble in these people's lives, and yet they're telling you and others. It's really, politicians are politicians. They're not the highest respected group of people in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but they are the ones that are in politics to legislate for you. You must stop, look, and think about what is being said and done around this country. Around the world, too, but you're right in this country. Around your state, you look at some of these people that are being elevated, and then they're being forced out for criminal activity that they should have been forced out years ago. Kept on and on and on. There's no sense to it. What is the level? What is the turning point? Where does it change? You're never going to know that. Never. Government is not one person. Joe Biden is not the government. He's a president of the United States and has influence. Donald Trump was not one person that's going to change the world. And anybody who thinks that he can impact things, of course, everybody who has power can impact things. Those billionaires behind the scenes, the people that run this world, you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what's going on with the Murdoch family and that television show Succession. You don't know anything. You don't. Don't pretend to know it. But what can you do? You're the important factor in all this, aren't you? They aren't. You are. And how is that? Because you have character. I did a clip on character. Character matters. I didn't get too many views on it, but character matters. Leadership matters. I was going to do a thing on leadership as well, and I may again, but I didn't get many views on leadership either. Why is that? I think it's critical. I think it's vital. I think it's the foundational issue. And what do you base your leadership concept on? Character. The character you see, not the verbiage that comes out of that mouth. Because heaven knows, look around you, people. They say whatever the heck they want to say, whenever they want to say it, and that's just the way it is. The people that you can at least attend to, at least think that they have some of your back to some degree. It's not black. It's not just horrible. Government always been tainted. Any government. It's power, people. As soon as there's power, there's corruption. Soon, it's just the way it is. People are flawed. That's one of the benefits of a democracy, is that you have these group of people and you're looking for a consensus in which society builds upon itself. But in today's world, it's not just bipartisanship. It's not partisanship only. It's the way the world is starting to think or act or find itself, in my estimation. It is not one person. Do not look at somebody like that Trump guy and think he is the world's savior. Some people do, unfortunately. I don't like to get into these particulars because there's always a particular that point, counterpoint, point, counterpoint. But that guy is no good. I don't have any other way to say it. I saw this money he's grifting on people. Oh my gosh, pictures of himself on dollar bills. Ego is just flying all over the place. And what? Taking advantage of people who don't have the money, who don't have the resources, who don't have the intellectual power to understand even the threat. They don't. And it's nothing new. There was a thing on one of the morning shows, I guess you say, and the gentleman was talking about his grandmother giving away her Social Security checks to Tammy Faye Baker. To those of you who remember that con family, that they went to prison. Religious. Give me money, give me money, give me money. And they were just spending it lavishly on themselves. And it was a con, and they served time in jail. And it was, so real to some people. Believe in what the Spirit gives you, the Spirit of truth. How can truth worm its way out of a sea of lies? By you. Only you can see it, can do something about it. You are a part of many. Many is the society in which we have to deal with. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't like the way things are going. I don't like the anxiety issues, this whole debt ceiling thing, which, in the majority, the money people rule. The money people always rule. You have power as a group of people. Look at history. One of the Chinese dynasties went for years and years, hundreds of years, terrible suffering to the peasantry. Then they had a tipping point, broke free, maybe 50 years of peace and decency, maybe a good leader, benevolent dictator, the ultimate good guy. If you're looking at some of the people that we have as benevolent dictators, go shop somewhere else, because it ain't there. Those people are not good. Just the way it is. Now, there's people who disagree with me, obviously, but this is not good. How can truth worm its way out of a sea of lies? I don't know exactly how, and I don't know what's going to change. But I do know that you matter the most. You matter the most. Your character, your desire for truth, critical thinking. Think about things. Stop, look, and think. Please. It's so important. You listen to the Democrats talk about the debt ceiling issue. You see the Republicans talk about the debt ceiling. Frankly, there's all types of merit in, well, there's merit out there. I don't know enough about debt ceilings, but I do know, in my estimation, you don't negotiate the debt ceiling. You just pay your bills. That's about as far as you're going to get as far as a parallel with your family and the government. Pay your bills, both for the family and for the government. Bottom line, and then it just goes off the other end because there's no parallel between government and family as far as financing is concerned, as far as running your family and making decisions for your family. You don't have 9 billion people in your family. So you don't have nuclear warheads. You don't have people. It's a whole different story. I guess in some small way there are parallels, but in the majority, as Lewis said, in the main, there is no parallel. You don't run the government like you do a family. But the character that is in your family can flow over into their government, into their actions for you, for us. I'm just tired of it. Really am tired of hearing those lies. And when I heard that Miss Green's talk, that list of silliness, just silliness. And at the top of the list, Fauci. My gosh, there's so much more in this world. And the man tried to do what is right. At least he tried. What did she do? My goodness, she hasn't done anything. But anyway, that's the way it is. I'm no fan of, there's many people I'm not a fan of, and she is not one. But not that it matters. I'm not trying to sell you on Miss Green or Joe Biden or anything. I'm trying to sell you on the fact, and I am trying to sell you on the fact that character matters. Truth matters. Truth matters. Reality matters. Don't make it up. Think about it. I don't care what your educational level is. You have an ability to think and function and not just accept. Do it. I want to thank everybody for their viewership on my past clip. Really appreciate that. If you can, subscribe or send a like or forward the link over to someone, please do. It's rewarding, and I think some of these messages are very important for the people in the world today. Not only this country, but everywhere. People are people, no matter where you go. You got cultural differences and other things, but they're just people. All they want to do, in the majority, is live decent lives. These minority people who push you and push and push and push to their own agendas, watch out. Beware. Stop, look, think. Have a great day. Bye for now.